Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. All right. Doing the thing I love most. Give me 30 seconds. Yes! Oh, man. Oh, boy. Live. Talking football. A lot to talk about. A lot to cover. That said, I'm gonna keep the show short. This is going to be a quick show. And, oh, boy. God, I don't even know where to begin, to be perfectly honest with you. I got the notes here from Amazement's picks. It looks like, boy, he did not have a good week picking games. So Amazement, if you're out there, I'm going through everything right now. I warned you about Jacksonville, same thing. Well, Baltimore, you got push. Man, the Lions are in a kind of rough shape. And then Dallas. Yeah, you're solid on Dallas. So that's all right. All right. For those of you who don't know, Johnaton Taylor is going to miss Thursday's game. Russell Wilson has a shoulder issue. He should be good to go. I'd be shocked if he didn't play. Russell Wilson, you can say whether he's a good quarterback, bad quarterback. A lot of people complain. But bottom line, he's a tough dude, tough guy. So no problem. Yeah. And then there was one. The Philadelphia Eagles. It's funny. I never a slasher, man. Thanks for joining, brother. By the way, I forgot to put this in there, but by the way, man, give me a like, subscribe, even a thumbs up on the way in. Teams, there's like a power rankings, ratings, whatever you want to call it. And for some reason, Philly's not number one. I don't get it, man. I saw one, I think Philly was 3, and I'm like, who's the only undefeated team? Well, maybe the Eagles are a team to beat. There's no maybe about it. There is no maybe about it. The Eagles, best team in the NFC, best team in the NFL. How do I know? Because they're the only team that hasn't lost. It doesn't matter about the opponents. The best part about the Eagles is that this is a team. There's been a renaissance this year. Teams returning to the running game. Scores are lower than they have been in the past. Defense, running game. And I'm kind of excited. Full disclosure, so I have a channel, a YouTube channel, Dan Betts NFL. I don't have it listed in the description, but you should be able to go to it, Dan Betts NFL. You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and put it down here. Where is it? I probably shouldn't do this. I 100% should not do this while I'm live, but I'm going to anyway. Actually, I didn't need to do that. So, but bear with me one moment. I'm making some mistakes here. I shouldn't be doing this on while I'm live. I really shouldn't. But things work. Things happen sometimes. Things happen sometimes. But anyway, this is the channel that I'm going to ask if you're watching this. And I should have had this in the description. So it's in the chat there. That's my NFL, that Dan Betts NFL. So One Pride, what is up, brother? I haven't had a chance to watch the highlights of the Lions Seattle Seahawks. I actually don't even know if your boy Walker got a chance to play. We just beat the number 2 seed in the NFC Vikings, number 3 seed in the AFC Jaguars. The bad team notion is just stupid. No, one team's been undefeated. That's all you got to know. They're the 1 seed. And here's the thing. They're built to win in the playoffs. The defense is good. They can run the ball, and Hurts is playing fantastic football. They're a fun team. I'm not even an Eagles fan. To tell you the truth, most Eagles fans are dicks. Most Eagles fans are dicks. Probably one of the worst. If you could choose like a fan base to have, like if you could vote 32 fan bases, what's the one team you don't want to have a winning team? It'd be the Eagles. It'd be the Eagles easy. And yeah. Funk, what's up, brother? What's up, brother? Morning. How about those Lions? Best offense, worst defense. You need to go back to 3-4 under. I said this when I found out that they were going to the 3-4, is that they came from the Saints. All right. Both the head coach and the defensive coordinator came from the Saints, where they ran a 4-3 under Dennis Allen, and it's a good defense. And I don't know why they don't run the same defense. It doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense to me not to run that 4-3 Dennis Allen defense. You actually have the position group available to run a 4-3. But some things need to be changed on defense. Hey, listen, you know what turned me into me and you are about the same age, Funk. You know what turned me into a football fan was the 81 playoff game between Chargers and Dolphins, but those early 80s Chargers turned me into a football fan for life. And I think you're going to have that same. I think you're going to have fans that watch this Lions team. They're going to become fans because the offense is phenomenal, and you still got Javonte or say Williams. You still got your first round pick. You know who I'm talking about. I'm 7 minutes into the show already getting names wrong. Bottom line, this is my other YouTube channel. This is the link to the Dan Betts NFL, which I've been ice cold. I have the last 3 weeks. I have missed every game I bet on. Terrible right now, dude. There is a ton of free agents in next year's class. I actually think the Lions are really going to go on a spending spree and a draft spree. It would not surprise me if you have up to a dozen new starters on that team. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Kenny Pickett is going to be the starter. I say that because I think there's a few teams that are ready to move on from their quarterbacks, and this is very important for the Detroit Lions because I think that what you might do is get a bridge quarterback besides Goff. I think Goff may leave in free agency, and or not in free agency. He may move on. The reason why I say this is because I think the Lions are going to draft a quarterback in this year's draft. You may move on from Goff and then try to get a bridge quarterback like Mariota or Trubisky to come in and do what Trubisky's doing this year, and that's start about 4 games. So I think that's what's going on right now. I kind of went on a rant. Yeah, Funk, I'm not going to lie. I couldn't have been more wrong about the Lions defense. I thought they were your team's strong suit, but they forget. Yeah, no, I was wrong too. I actually thought defense would be improved. They're getting worse, and offense is awesome. And I was 100% wrong about Ben Johnson. I thought they should have gone with Nagy. But I mean, the best part is that Swift didn't play. Swift didn't play. He was out. Amon-Ra was out. What'd you guys put up? 45? That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Hawkinson had a day. I haven't seen any highlights. I just know the number. Denver Gators in the house. What's up, brother? Go subscribe. Yeah, please subscribe. And whatever you do, do not listen to whatever. Subscribe to the channel. And then whatever I bet on, do the opposite, and you'll be rich. I was so mad. I went 0-2 for I don't always bet on 2 games. But I went 0-2. I was so mad. I didn't even want to watch football Sunday. I could barely enjoy the Chiefs victory. And it's funny, Denver Gator. I actually have a game I want to bet on this week. I should just whatever I'm thinking. I should just flip it. But I do got a game. I do have a game. I have a good one. I think you're going to agree with me. I you know what? Ever since we've teamed up, Denver Gator, we've had different games we've liked. I think this week we're going to pick the same game, and I'm going to bet. I'm not going to quit. So yeah. The offense is fantastic. The Detroit Lions are the most entertaining team in the NFL. The score could be 31-7, fourth quarter, 10 minutes left, and it's coin flip. Whether they're a team of 7, whether they're a team of 31, coin flip. Jamison Williams, thanks, man. I'm sorry, man. And I'm surprised they cheered for Doug when he walked in. And then you know what? I say that, but they played Andy Reid. I think it was like third or fourth week in the NFL season, and they kept on trying to goad Andy Reid. Oh, what do you think about comeback Phillies? Like, just another game. I'm with the Chiefs. It's just another game, and they cheered for Andy Reid. Nothing but positivity, and Peterson won them a Super Bowl. Should be nothing but positivity. Peterson had them ready to go. It's just the Eagles are good, man. This is a team that's built for the playoffs. Great running game, good defense, and a quarterback who's an MVP candidate. Pride, right now, if I snag 3 kids in the draft, Simpson, linebacker from Clemson, he's a good one. Use him in the Jack role, Porter Jr. and Jordan Battle. Those are good ones. Funk, you know this as well as anybody. I'm going to do a ton of draft stuff. I've looked at some mock drafts. I haven't dove into it yet. I'm going to try I'm going to see. I haven't talked to Luke G in a while. I'm going to try to see if me and Luke G can do some stuff during draft time. In all fairness, he's not good. Like the Seahawks are going to try to move on from Geno, but one thing that if you don't get pressure on him, he's really good at dinking and dunking. And what's really I didn't watch the game, so you guys would have to tell me, is that both the left and right tackle are rookies. And they've been playing better and better, but if you didn't get any pressure on Geno, here's the thing: if you don't pressure Geno Smith and you don't ask him to throw deep, he can dink and dunk with really anybody. I had a huge major man crush on Rashad Penny coming out of the draft. This is who I thought he would be. Now, keep in mind, he came out with Nick Chubb and the other Georgia running back, drawing a complete blank. He's on like 4 different teams now. Drafted by the Patriots in the first round. Was with the Rams last year. But anyway, I apologize. I just drawn a complete blank on the guy's name. But anyway, Rashad Penny was taken 20th overall. He was ahead of Chubb. I can't remember the other guy's name, but anyway, this is the guy who I thought he would be. The Lions defense got to get better. The offense, a lot of fun to watch. Lions most exciting team in the NFL. I've been saying this a couple weeks now. I don't do in-game betting because I like DVR. I may change it and then bet big on the Lions because sometime during the game they're going to be either up or down by 14 and make it a game. They had Dom Capers in an advisory role as defense needed bodies, not a change. They could still blitz from 3-4 and some of the best defenses in history. Listen, Luke G tried to explain that. Oh God, what was it? Every coach has like a backup. But here's the thing, Dom Capers has worked with 4-3 defenses. He worked with Zimmer in Minnesota. And just because you got Dom Capers on your staff doesn't mean you have to run a 3-4. And some of the greatest defenses have been a 4-3, but a lot of great defense has been a 4-3. bottom line, what they ran in New Orleans when Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn was there was the 4-3 defense, the Dennis Allen defense, and it worked fantastic. It was one of the best defenses for several years. And I really thought that it was just common sense that, like, what you did for 5 years in New Orleans worked perfectly. And you come up to Detroit and try something different. Doesn't make any sense. And as much as Aaron Glenn is thought about and well respected in the NFL, he's doing a terrible job as defensive coordinator, and he may not make it the season. He may get fired sometime during the season. It's a possibility. If you're going to say, Dan, what's going to happen with Aaron Glenn? I'll like, well, he'll last the season. Then they have to make some hard choices after the season's over. But the Lions finish 7 wins. Everybody's going to come back for a third year, and you have to go from there. Slasher, I tried to tell you the line. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Somebody's got to help Hutchinson. I see his graph where he's number 1 most double-teamed edge in the league rusher. Yeah, they need to do some things. That's I kind of beating a dead horse here, but this is why I didn't like to trade up. You could have got all sorts of defensive talent. Could have done a lot of different things. Don't be surprised to move at Aubrey Pleasant or the DB's coach of DC. Aubrey Pleasant, I'm almost positive he's been a defensive coordinator before. I could be wrong about that, but if not, he's going to be a defensive coordinator very soon. Dan, if the defense doesn't improve, I can see the quarterback getting pushed back another year. Goff is under contract 2 more seasons. Okay, he is under contract for 2 more seasons, but I think you can get rid of him next year and only take like a $5 million hit, if I'm correct. I could be way off. I could be way off, so please don't hold me to that. But if that's the case, you may want to trade. You may want to make a move because there's going to be a team that's going to want to draft a quarterback this year. I would really look at making a move with the Giants because I think the Giants are going to move on from Daniel Jones after this year. And what they may do is they may work something out, with the Lions and say, hey, listen, we'll take off for the next 2 years. We'll draft our guy, and then go from there. I mean, I'm kind of jumping the gun here, but don't be surprised if something like this happens. Funk Hometown Talent. Here's the thing. You're gonna get some stuff. I seriously, I wouldn't be surprised you get 10 to 12 new starters. Wouldn't be surprised at all. BJ Ojolari on the other side of Hutch. I'm gonna do a lot of draft stuff. I'm going to do a lot of draft stuff. I barely looked at it. Dan Gino wasn't just dinking and dunking. He was actually slinging it very often all over the middle. Lions defense looked loose. Really? I was kind of under the impression because Sony Michel. Thanks, Denver Gator. All right. At West Virginia, he coached under Gary Holgerson. Anyway, he took over as the head coach of Houston. I think he's been fired. And he had like that air raid offense. And Geno Smith looked awesome. And then he had Trayvon Austin and another NFL wide receiver. Didn't really pan out. His 3rd round pick and played really, really good. And he just went back and just ding. So I was kind of under the impression that's because like when I watched Seattle earlier in the season, that's like when he's his best. Is anything past 20 yards? No. And he doesn't have that big time arm, but he's really accurate in that 15 range up. You can say the same thing about Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Geno Smith's got more arm strength than Garoppolo, but he's not a long-term solution. So Pride, where is it? Malcolm McNeil, he's got 2 guys when he's drafted 10 guys. Cliff, yes, man, I'm so glad to see you here, man. Hey, by the way, Cliff, I don't have it in the description. I put it in the comments earlier. Dan Betts NFL. Check out my YouTube channel. I document all my picks, and I've been doing terrible. I have been doing terrible, but I got one. DK had 149, averaging 20 yards a catch. Now, The 20 yards a catch can be misleading, like the 49ers. Deebo Samuel had a 65-yard touchdown, but it was really just a 10-yard catch and one of the best runs I've seen a wide receiver make. So was it like that? I don't know. I really don't. I didn't watch any of the highlights. After I had 2 games I bet on. Once I lost them, they're both noon games. I lost them both. I didn't want to watch football the rest of the day. I could barely enjoy my Chiefs just kicking the shit out of Tampa Bay. There's a lot to unpack there in Tampa. I got a few games on DVR. I'm going to go back tonight and tomorrow and watch over. Iffy Hutch Lucas, name a free. Don't be surprised if besides the draft now, a John Dorsey staple is building through the draft, but I really think that you're gonna have some free agents that would. I'm telling you right now, because of Hard Knocks and some of the positive things that you're seeing with the Detroit Lions, free agents are want to come to Detroit. You're gonna have some free agent buzz. I seriously, I think you're going to be surprised. I don't feel I don't feel confident taking the Lions anymore unless Amon-Ra and Swift is out there. They probably will have scored 50. What was final score? 48-45. Yeah, they're good for a touchdown. 7 wins. It's possible. I don't think they've played Chicago yet. I'm not sold on Minnesota. I don't know what the Lions' schedule is. 7's possible. Seriously, before Hard Knocks, I would have said 7. After Hard Knocks, I was leaning towards 5. So, I didn't know. So Okudah was out. Probably one of 3 guys you named is giving the Lions 1/2 a game this year. Okay. Hutch is only winning 10% of his 101, so why are they doubling him? He had those 3 sacks in that 1/2. So Okudah's had help, and against Seattle, he didn't have help and got torched. Stop it. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch this game. I didn't even watch highlights. So he's probably not winning, but he's causing pressure. If you have Twitter, I can send it to you. Graphs from Stepple. Dude, send it to Slasher. You follow me on Twitter. All my social media links should be below. If you're not following me, hit me up, man. Slasher. Bro, what so locking up Justin Jefferson isn't an improvement? I would say so too, but I believe he's getting heavy attention. Also could benefit from another productive guy on the other side. There's 23 million. Also, I heard not playing him in a 3-point stance after success from a 2-point stance at Michigan. Probably not the smartest move either. A lot of things need to be changed on defense. I think it's a lot of coaching and partly personnel. It's a long season, man. You got to realize Okudah is he's not really a rookie, but he's not really a 3-year vet either. He's been, he hasn't. Odds are he probably get injured this year, but he's a real young player. McNeil's 2nd-year player. I don't want to go through all 11 or the 15 like sub packages, but there's a lot of stuff. No excuse for giving up 48 to a team that's probably going to be a bottom 5 scoring offense in Seattle. So. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what this is. Yeah. Hit me up. If for those of you who aren't following me on social media, please do follow me on social media. It mean a lot to me. Let's see here. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, I almost forgot. Thanks, brother. I eat a lot of crow. I was 100% wrong about Tua. I'm going to do that before anything else. Going to I'm going to do that before I do anything else. I got to eat a lot of crow about what I said about Tua. I said I thought the Dolphins did everything correct. Turns out to be they didn't. Tua is not going to play next week. I think he's going to play this year. I really do. He may be out for a couple games. He's going to play this year. He may want to consider retirement. I think he's a guy that I think would be phenomenal on TV. I think he'd be great. We'll have to see what's going to happen. But I eat some crow. I said I thought the NFL and Tua. Well, I'm sorry. I thought the NFL and the Dolphins did everything right. I was wrong. Big time wrong. Slasher, you mean like a 3-4 rush outside linebacker, like a Lion scheme last year just needed to be. I'm sorry, Slasher, you mean 3-4. Like the Lion scheme last year needed to be productive. What's crazy is Joey Poyer, Jesse Bates, Jimmy Ward. Dude, there's a lot of players on the offensive side of the ball. I was thinking Josh Jacobs, running back for the Raiders. They passed because he's a first-round pick. They passed on his fifth-year option. He had a really good game against Denver. When his contract, he's going to be a free agent. He's a guy that I think is going to be very appealing for a lot of teams because the only thing preventing him from being a superstar is he just doesn't have deep speed, but he's a 3-down back. Real fun player. Slasher, you'd have to correct me. I should know this, but I don't. What's Miles Sanders' situation like contract wise? If I'm correct, next year will be year 4, and he's not going to play on a rookie deal. He's having a good year. You'd have to correct me if I'm wrong there. But yeah, there's a lot of good free agents. It's going to be a good one. Aiden Hutchinson would be 1,000% be better. I really thought they were using him more as a stand-up. I need to watch this game. Really need to watch this game. He can. What's his name suing the Chargers team doctor? Matter of fact, he got injured last week. I'm drawing a complete blank. I shouldn't be drawing a blank on this either. New York Giants backup quarterback. I can't believe I'm forgetting this guy. Set all sorts of records at Virginia Tech, was with Baltimore. Anyway, yeah, he's suing the Chargers. I'm complete. I cannot believe I can't remember his name. Cannot remember his name. Just complete blank. Belichick says he owed players out often when the doctors okayed them. Lots of NFL coaches do that, and then lots of NFL coaches are kind of wary because they especially if head injuries. Like I said last week, I said I thought the NFL and the Dolphins did everything correct, and they didn't. So, Boofa, man, welcome, brother, man. Hit me up and let me know if you want to come on Friday, man. I miss having you here. I understand. For those of you who don't know, Boofa's wife hates me and does not want him to come on my show ever again. But thank you very much. Yes, it is my birthday, and I'm doing one of my favorite things in the world. I'm talking football with people who are the greatest people in the world. They're subscribed to my channel. So Chiefs Kingdom's happy because Travis Kelce's birthday is today. So like Chiefs Kingdom celebrating my birthday, and to a lesser extent Travis Kelce's. So, but man, thank you so much, man. That's freaking awesome. That's freaking awesome. I'll take Jordan Battle around too. Well, Elliott is a good signing. I like that guy a lot, and you put him around you got to put him in the right situation. I don't know if that's really the right situation for him there in Detroit, but re-signing him I think would be really, really smart. Really, really smart. I'm going to do a lot of draft stuff, Funk. You know that. Last year, all the videos, draft videos, I think you watched all of them. So this is year 4. Okay, this is year 4. I got mixed up. This is year 4 for Miles, unfortunately, but it's kind of puts us into a predicament because we still have to sign Jalen and sign some other guys in defense. I feel like Miles. Um, God, I thought this was 3, so I messed up. Miles is expendable then. Yeah, you're not going to be able to pay him. No, because here's the deal: you're on a second round contract with a guy who's a quarterback who's having an MVP type season. It's funny because I think his agent's telling him to wait for Lamar Jackson, but if I'm the Eagles, okay, just forget the teams. Just say a random team, and you could pay 5 years, $250 million for Lamar Jackson, or 5 years, $250 million for Jalen Hurts. And I'm thinking Jalen Hurts, and it's not even close. Hurts maybe. I mean, seriously, Josh Allen, I think, signed a 6-year, $250-some million contract. I forget what Kyler Murray's contract is. It Hurts could be resetting the market. It could be something ridiculous. I'm saying this, and it's going to sound like Tyrod Taylor. Yes, thank you, Denver Gator. I'm going to throw this out, and it's going to sound like it's made up. It's not. This is legit. 6-year, $400 million, not half guaranteed. That could be the Hurts contract. Lake Skate's contract, 2-year, $18 million. Which one? You'd have to ask. Plumbing issues. Hopefully I can. Hopefully, and Mike, I'd love to have you here. You know that the show's always better when you're here. I don't know what it is. So yeah. Man, Funk, thank you, man. I really appreciate it, man. Now you're giving me the it's going to sound cheesy as fuck, but the best gift is just talking football with you, man. I'm going to keep the show kind of short. I'm going to keep it kind of short tonight. Nothing crazy, but also I got some football I got to watch too. So I got a lot of work to do, but I'm having a great birthday. This is my favorite thing in the world. So yeah. Bufa, ask if your wife can, if you can come over, hang out with Dan. Battles. I'm going to do a ton of draft stuff yet, but I haven't yet. By the way, the Eagles and Lions both have 2 number 1s, and if you can afford to pay Hurts, and he's going to want a lot. If you can afford to pay him and use those 2 first-round picks, it's going to be interesting. I really think what's going to happen is they're going to trade one of those first-round picks. I think they're going to trade down, get a little creative. Funk, what about Brian Jentz, Eli Ricks too? Ton of draft stuff. Just I haven't watched much on college football. I really haven't. I really haven't. I apologize. I've gone over some mock drafts. Man, thanks, Cliff. I really, really appreciate it, man. And thank you. By the way, don't forget, guys, thanks for the birthday wishes. I could not thank you enough, but give me the thumbs up and share. I'm 4 away from 800 subscribers. So if you don't mind, share my channel on social media. It'd mean a lot. Dude, Elliott's a great guy, man. He's a great guy, man. He's a guy that he's for those of you who do not know, like, this is the enforcer. This is like your stereotypical old school strong safety, but he's got a little more speed and athleticism than your prototypical box safety. And on a team that's got like wants to play a bunch of man as a safety, who wants to play like in the box. I actually don't think they're really using him, right, to tell you the truth, but he's a really good player. So. Dan, can you bring out the cocaine just this once? It's your birthday. I'm having an energy drink, and I'm pretty jacked up, man. I'm pretty jacked up. Crazy couple. Yeah, I don't want to give out too much, but Mike's one of the busiest people I know. we're gonna do a ton of draft stuff. I can't wait to get into the draft. I mean, so here, for those of you that are new to my channel, I see it's mostly regulars, but let me tell you something. I'm going to do a lot of draft stuff. 5 at 280, 240 guaranteed for Hurts. Okay. The 5, 280, yes. The 240 guaranteed, no. And what's going to happen is, because he is a running quarterback, and you're going to see this trend, and I promise you this is going to happen. I promise you this is going to happen, and it's going to suck. But sometime this year, Josh Allen's going to miss a game. He's going to miss a game because he runs way too much. So he's going to miss a game. And when he does, people are going to talk about that guaranteed money. All right? People are going to talk about that guaranteed money. And what's going to happen is, I really think that Hurts is going to reset the market. I think Philly's going to say, hey, we're gonna break the bank. And I think it's going to be longer than 5. I think they're going to try to get him like a 6-7 year deal. I think they really want him to be the face of that organization. I really think it's going to be like a 6-7 year deal. And I think it's going to be something crazy. I really do. I think that they're just going to just open up the Brinks truck and just back it up and say, dude, here we go. I really do. I really think the Eagles are just going to reset the market. I really do. Because now keep in mind, he has to continue playing at an MVP level. Like right now, top 5 MVP candidate, Hurts is on that. If he continues that, or heaven forbid he wins an MVP, forget what he does in the playoffs. If he wins an MVP, it's Brinks truck time. No kidding. Someone, I can't sing to save my life, man. He's going to get more. He's going to get more. You watch. He's going to get a lot more, unless he gets hurt. If he gets hurt, game over. And then keep in mind, Josh Allen. Every time I watch Josh Allen, he takes like 2 or 3 hits every single game that he shouldn't. But I really think that that's what's going to happen, Funk. It's going to be something. I'm serious. It's going to be something crazy. However, I think like the number guaranteed is going to be about half. I think like the guaranteed money may be less, but I think it's going to be something. It's going to be something really crazy. After the show, I got a crazy scenario that could happen, but I doubt it. Dude, man, you can always message me. You follow me on social media. You hit me up anytime. I even got an email. Hit me up. He's playing seriously. I had a lot of questions. The Eagles had a lot of questions. That's why they gave up one of their first-round draft picks. So they have 2 first-round picks next year. And the plan was, and it's a very smart plan, was if Hurts doesn't pan out, we're going to use those 2 first-round picks. We're going to get a quarterback this year. There's a lot of them coming out. And, yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear this or not. My neighbors, I have the shittiest neighbors in the whole world. So they have a dog. And he's been barking like the whole time I've been doing this video. He's been barking nonstop. My neighbors suck. I hate my neighbors. Slasher mean connect on. Yeah. By the way, hit me up, hit Denver Gator up. All my social media links are below, man. Follow me on social media. I'll make sure to send you a big. Maybe lock Hurts up. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Before everyone heads out, go ahead. Go stand shit on my Broncos. Get it all out later because down the road will be a way better narrative. Javonte Williams out for the year. Russell Wilson's banged up. And here's the problem is that it was destined to be a work. Okay. Let me just do this here. Here's the problem. Throughout NFL history, teams have traded for or obtained Hall of Fame quarterbacks in their 30s and just recently it's worked out very good. Tom Brady won a Super Bowl, Matthew Stafford won a Super Bowl, but usually it doesn't work out. And then, to be honest, a lot of times there's mixed results. The problem is you get somebody like Russell Wilson, who's 34, and he had his Iron Man streak, I think, like first 9 years of his career, and it snapped last year. All right, it snapped last year, and now, you got him in Denver. There was a hole at right tackle, massive hole at right tackle. They didn't address it, and the worst part is that they were supposed to be Denver's built to be a run-heavy team, and they're trying to be a pass-happy team. And then you got a rookie first-time head coach. So, Denver's not going to be a good team this year, but next year I think that they're going to get everything wrapped up. Javonte Williams, major man crush on him. It sucks he's out, but it was really smart that they signed Melvin Gordon. Really smart they signed Melvin Gordon. He needs to be the guy for the rest of the year. But if we get chapped up against Bailey Zapp, don't be surprised we promote. Oh yeah, you do play. I haven't found out yet. If you know and I don't, that's embarrassed. But Zapp may be the quarterback. I don't know if he's starting or not. I don't know if he is, and it's been released. I don't know. So. Screw the Broncos. I have Judy and Mel. Ooh. Gordon should get it going. We currently have a top 3 pick. Oh yeah. Seriously, the dog has barked since I've been on. I've heard it's one of these dogs like 10 pounds, barks nonstop. Yeah. So here's what I think. I think this is going to end up being a mid-round pick. I actually thought the Saints were a playoff team. It started the year. I thought things were going to be good. They have a lot of injuries. Dennis Allen replacing Sean Payton hasn't really worked out so well. Hasn't worked out so well so far. So. Anyone see that animal rights activist that got popped by Wagner? They want to sue for money now. Is that what it was? Okay, for those of you that don't know what a slasher is talking about, I think I retweeted it. So basically, it's a guy. He was running with some pink smoke, so I thought it was like some feminism thing, because the NFL used to do Breast Cancer Awareness Month for October, and everybody wore pink. I hated it. I could not. Do you remember that? Every NFL team had pink on for the whole month of October. I could not stand it. They stopped doing it. So on Monday Night Football, they didn't show it on the game, which I'm glad they don't do, but I saw it on Twitter. So some jackass was running on the field, and it was Bobby Wagner and somebody else just drilled him. And I was like, yes. And I did not know that they wanted to sue, but it wouldn't surprise me. You know what? I don't know if you're aware, but when you run on the field, like it's not like a trespassing charge. Like the NFL has tried to work something up where they're trying to make it a felony. Like you jump on an NFL field, it's supposed to be like 1 to 2 years in jail. So the Manning show. Oh, really? Oh, okay. They usually don't show it live. I saw it on Twitter. I didn't know that yet. Wagner. I saw the hit. I saw it on Twitter, but I didn't think they showed it live. So I know this is way early, but I watch a lot of college ball. Young would be drafted super high, but watch out for his backup. He's like the next day. Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't watch a lot of college ball, but the quarterback who's backing up, is it Bryce Young? The quarterback backing up the Heisman winner actually looks like he's more NFL ready because he's much bigger, stronger. He looks like he's like legitimate, like 6'3", 230, and can run, throw. Yeah. I've been trying to tell you, Denver Gator, it's not Broncos fans are going to be disappointed because I was in Colorado a couple times this summer. Love it up there, and you know this. I'm talking to everybody else, not you, Denver Gator. Me and you have talked. You know how much I love it up there. I've been trying to tell people you're not really going to get the team that you think this year, maybe next year, but a rookie first time head coach putting all these pieces together, and it's all not like connected. You got like square pegs going in round holes, and even though it worked out with Manning, it's kind of rare to get a 34-year-old quarterback who comes in and plays up to that potential. I mean, I understand Tom Brady at 44 won a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. Matthew Stafford, I think he's 33. I could be wrong about that. 33. I mean, first overall pick 2008, if I'm correct, goes to the Rams. And a lot of people feel this way. You could seriously go back in NFL history. Johnny U going with the Chargers, Joe Namath going to the Rams, Joe Montana was here in Kansas City. So I hate people that do this shit. And by the way, he wasn't an activist. He was just an attention-seeking jackass. He wasn't trying to do anything except like, look at me. That's all it was. I remember some kid was trying to the school sent him home because he wanted to dye his hair pink just several years ago. And he's like, I'm trying to raise awareness. No, you're not. You're just like going, look at me. That's all it is. He's not doing anything productive, or it's just a look at me tactic. I fucking hate it. You want to do something, do something. Don't make an ass out of yourself. But, people that do that shit, just attention seekers. So. Pride, I honestly wonder if I would go down like Ben Johnson and Lynn did last year. Dan just calls plays in theory while Pleasant is the guy behind the scenes. That's kind of interesting. Bottom line, they got to do some things different on defense. I honestly think the whole coaching staff is on the hot seat. I think it's mostly the defensive coordinator. If you had to put a gun to my head and tell me what's going to happen, I think that the Lions will make a move after the season if they do make a move. But, hey, look, we're only 4 games in. Only 4 games in with a very, very young defense. So if they show improvement, that's the main thing. And listen, Lions fans, we said this a couple years ago, is that they're building from scratch. So you're going to take baby steps. We knew 2 years ago that this was not going to be a good team in 2022. In 2020, we were like, okay, we're going to lay down the foundation year 1, year 2, get better, get the team ready. And in year 3, which will be 2023, we're going to have a rookie quarterback. So we all knew this was going to happen. So don't be surprised. We've been talking about this. I mean, we're not trying to get to the wild card this year. We're a year away. So how about them Chiefs? Yeah. And so power rankings, I think the one I saw, I think had the Chiefs at 1, Packers 2, Eagles 3. And it's like, no, Chiefs got lost. And I'm not really surprised, and it's not because we had a great win. It's because Tampa Bay is not the same. What Tampa Bay really needs to kind of build this team around Fournette. The receivers aren't very good. The Chiefs defense is playing lights out. I joined Keys and his show, and I said, it's the offense doesn't surprise me at all. It's this defense that's playing amazing ball. They provide. I think they held the Tampa Bay to something crazy on rushing offense. And I keep in mind, once they got down, they kind of abandoned the run. But Tampa Bay, I thought going into this offseason was my number 1 team, fall to injuries, and then I thought it was Green Bay. And right now, today, it's the Eagles. I mean, come playoff time, I would fear the Packers more than I'd fear the Eagles. But right now, it's the Eagles, and both Tampa Bay and the Rams, who I thought would be the 1-2 team, they're really struggling. But the offense doesn't look very good for Tampa Bay because all those. Listen, when you're 45-year-old quarterback, all those injuries on the offensive line is terrible. All those injuries on the offensive line, and Brady does not look the same. And there's a lot of stuff on social media about the divorce. I mean, I've seen a lot of NFL players go through a divorce and not have it mess with them, and I've seen a lot of players that look like they're just having problems. And I think with Brady, I think it's a combination of divorce, being 45, changing head coach, offensive line injuries. I think it's a lot, man. I could go through NFL history and point out. Okay, as a matter of fact, let me give you a little history lesson. Let me give you a little fun fact history lesson. Joe Namath's last game as a New York Jet quarterback was in New York. Big game, huge game, one of the biggest games in NFL history. At the end of the game, the star of the game was carried out on his shoulders. Anybody know what game that is? It was the game O.J. Simpson broke 2000. O.J. Simpson breaks 2000. People remember that game forever. It was Joe Namath's last game as a New York Jet. Nobody remembers. Hall of Fame quarterback. Nobody remembers. Joe Montana's last game, playoffs. You're going to think I'm making this up. You're going to think it's fiction. And you're going to think it's fiction. Dan Marino's last game was a 61-7 playoff loss, where in the third quarter, sprinklers came on. Look it up because I don't think you'll believe me. Lawrence Taylor's last game lost 42-3. Ricky Waters scored, I think it was 6. It was 5 or 6. I think it was 6 touchdowns. It was like tied for a playoff record. Barry Sanders' last game, he had like 19 rushing yards. Of course, his retirement situation is a little weird. So, last game doesn't always end as a win. More often than not, it ends up just being a ho-hum game. And I think Brady's not the same. So many things. I think Chiefs are best team in the AFC. I don't even think it's close, to tell you the truth. Buffalo, I think Josh Allen, it's just a matter of time before he misses some games. He's running way too much. They're throwing way too much. A lot of injuries. It wouldn't. I'm gonna tell you something. In a couple weeks from now, 2 weeks, the Chiefs play the Raiders on Monday night, and then they played Buffalo. I think it's at Arrowhead. I could be wrong. It doesn't even matter. Buffalo could win that game. And 2 weeks from now, Buffalo could beat the Chiefs. And you're going to say, well, what now? I'm going to say the same thing. I'm going to say, come playoff time, Chiefs over Bills. So, hey, where's Alex at? I wanted to ask him what's up with Stingley. He's having a pretty rough season so far. Well, he was here Friday, and he said Stingley was having a great year. I bet the under on that game, and I was pissed because I knew after the first quarter when they got up like 14, the Chargers got up 14 or 21-0 first quarter. I knew I was going to lose that bet. I was beyond pissed. So, yeah, Denver, I feel like Hackett is too much like his dad. Hackett did not have a good time here in Kansas City, but Mike, I tried explaining this to the Denver Gator and other Broncos. I didn't try because people were expecting a Super Bowl, and it's going to take at least 1 year, man. I think a minimum of one, and I'm not even sure that it's not a good formula there in Denver. It's really not. But it's going to be rough this year, maybe next year. By the way, Dan, this is 100% correct. If you let John Dorsey and dude, John Dorsey went in 2013. The Chiefs had the number 1 pick in the draft. They came off a 2-win season. They went from 2 wins to 11 wins, lost in the playoffs, one of the worst playoff losses in NFL history. Chiefs were up 38-10 in the third quarter, lost. And anyway, John Dorsey just completely completely redid the Chiefs roster. It was crazy. I'll never forget. Third week of preseason. This was back when they had 4 weeks. Third week was the major cut down. You have to go. I think it's like 85 to 60 or something. I don't know. He signs 8 players that were cut. 2 of them started day one. Started the whole season. Never seen anybody do that. Always have a lot of respect for Dorsey. And he finds players from small schools. LDT, he's now with the Jets. They got him from Canada. He started as a rookie. That was crazy, but yeah. Social media and a certain side of the aisle have made people do some absolutely stupid, pointless acting. Funk, man, you know, seriously, it was when I lost those 2 bets, I thought about changing my channel. and I think that if I changed it and started talking about non-football stuff, I think you would join on. I think we'd agree more than we would on football, but yeah. I'm not, and this is Mike. This is why your wife hates me. I mean, maybe the reason he chose football for so long is Gisele's a crazed control freak. That TB12 diet looks like. By the way, if you're not familiar with this TB12 diet, like Tom Brady's diet regimen is fucking nuts. Like, it's super crazy. Apparently, like the like on his off day, the worst thing he'll eat is like avocado ice cream. But he drinks like at 6 a.m. every morning. He slams a 12-ounce glass of warm water every single day. It's special TB12 water. Some of the stuff he's doing is actually really genius. Like, he doesn't do weights. He does band training. And what it is that the band training doesn't make your muscles bigger. It makes them more pliable. So you when you get hit, instead of like a muscle tear, it's a muscle bend. It's actually phenomenal. God, I kind of want to rant about this a lot, but I'm going to try to keep it short. I don't know the name of the Netflix special, but if you haven't seen it, it's one of my favorites. I don't think it's on Netflix right now. I'm going to watch right after the show if it's on. The Todd Maranovich story. If you're not familiar with the Todd Maranovich story, it's amazing. So his father, I think his name is Rob. I could be wrong, but anyway, Mr. Maranovich played at USC in the 60s, where his head coach was Al Davis. And then when Al Davis bought the Raiders, actually Al Davis coached the Raiders. So he's like, this was like an all-American football player. So he's like best football player I've ever seen. So I'm going to bring him to the Raiders. Anyway, he injured his back and did everything like you do in 1960 to get back. And he was never the same. And he's like, I'm doing something wrong. So he started researching diet, fitness. Every drill that you see at the NFL Combine's a result of, I want to call him Rob. I don't know if that's his name. So anyway, he becomes the very first NFL strength and conditioning coach. Every drill that you see at the Combine, that offensive and defensive linemen move, were results of this. So what he decided is that when he had if he had a child, what if he raised him from birth to be a quarterback? And it was Todd Maranovich. He's about my age. I remember when he was 16 years old, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. He broke every single high school passing record. His name was Robo QB. And if you watch the special on ESPN, because Sports Illustrated, when they did the article, they hyped it up a little bit. Like he's never had processed food. He's never drank a soda. He never tasted candy and all that stuff wasn't true. But his dad spent a lot of money on preparing his meals. Like after practice was like 3-hour training sessions. It was crazy. And anyway, he used drugs and alcohol to escape all the pressure, didn't know how to handle it, didn't know how to quit. And it's a tragic story. And to tell you the truth, it's almost a good story in a way, because if it worked, and I'm going to tell you something, his very first NFL game was against the Chiefs, and they lost 27-24. It was the Marty Schottenheimer 90s Chiefs defense, one of the best defenses in the NFL. And this guy's a rookie, first NFL game. And oh my God, I'm telling you right now, if he loved football, he would be a top 10 quarterback of all time. That game he played was one of the best games I've ever seen a quarterback play. First time, just quarterback. I mean, he was a sophomore coming out of college. Sophomore. Back then, you could come out early, and he was one of those few guys you didn't see anybody come out as a sophomore, and he did, and he would have been great. It would have been great. Anyway, I ranted too much about that. Yeah, I don't follow baseball at all, but I follow him on social media. I follow him on Twitter. By the way, he posts some really great stuff on Twitter. So follow Alex on Twitter. I'm sure he wouldn't mind if anybody posts that stuff up. Remember, I had to hold DT back Friday after attacking. Are you talking about the 95 game? I actually don't remember that. I don't remember that. Yeah. Oh, by the way, yeah. Okay, so Booth is talking about the 2013 Chiefs, and what happened is John Dorsey came in, and it might even have been more than 40%. It was crazy. It was crazy what he did. It was just absolutely insane. It was. I've never seen any general manager do this. There's not 10 people more responsible for the Chiefs Super Bowl than John Dorsey. I will say that till the day I die. Really, 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 really did a fantastic job in 2013. After that, he made some mistakes. And I mean, afterwards, he made some mistakes. But yeah, it was crazy. New roster. Marinovic, the Chiefs leafed him in the playoffs that year. Drawn Cherry's last game, great game to be at. Okay, so what happened was this is funny. So it was week 16 or 17. I don't remember. It was the last week of the season. It was out in Oakland. I think it was LA actually. I think they were the LA Raiders at the time, if I remember. Anyway, both teams are going to go to the playoffs. It's for the AFC West title, so the winner plays the playoff game at home. And the game, and so what happened? It was 27-24. Marinovic got to start, played phenomenal. The next game was at Arrowhead, the very next week, wild card game, and if I remember correctly, I was in Ohio. I was furious. I could not go to that game. Anyway, I was in Ohio. I could not go to the game. I was beyond furious. And what happened was the Chiefs won like 10-6. Apparently it was like rain or sleet, and the Raiders just, I mean, it was old school Marty ball at its best, you know. And then the next season, I think Marinovic had a bunch of problems, but with Marinovic, though, that's special. If you've never seen it, it's one of my favorites. It's amazing. Now, keep in mind, I was in high school when Marinovic was in high school, and Marinovic is on the cover of Sports Illustrated, setting all-time passing records. So, it was funny because later on, Ty Detmer beat those records, and I actually played on the game. That guy named Jeff Handy. You can look this up if you don't believe me. Jeff Handy. So he ended up going to MU, and he broke all those records, and he broke them all against. Well, I was riding the bench. I wasn't good enough to start. But the last game of the season, Jeff Handy broke all these national records in a 60-7 game. Jeff Handy the next year started at MU. Would have been a fantastic NFL quarterback. Got injured, only played 2 years at MU. Anyway, and yeah, so he set all these national records against me. Hey, you don't believe me? Just Google Jeff Handy, and Jeff Handy, MU quarterback. So in the 90s, that's when the run and shoot came out. So our defense was we just played standard 4-3 against a 5 wide receiver set. Nobody knew what to do against a 5 wide receiver set, and the run and shoot. And so he put up 60. If I remember correctly, it was like 40 at halftime, and it was he looked like an NFL quarterback playing against high school kids. So yeah, the Chiefs. So it's funny because Todd Maranovich had this terrible game in shit weather, and then week 3 of Ryan Leaf's career, he comes to Arrowhead. First 2 games he plays great. Week 3, it's this weird Midwest game where it's like 40 degrees and raining sleet, and he played college ball at Washington State, and they have inclement weather at Washington State, and he had maybe the worst game ever. Ryan Leaf did, and after the game, that's where he blew up at the referee. It was like comically bad. It was like 2 out of 16 for -4 yards, 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles. I mean, it was just. You got to realize the Chiefs had this phenomenal defense that year. I mean, it was an amazing defense, at least for the first part of the season. And the Midwest is weird. It was September, but it was just one of those weird, like 40 sleet days. It was like 40 degrees, raining sleet. It was windy, just shit day. And a team from San Diego comes into Arrowhead and just. That was the game that after the game he blew up. Yeah, it was the June Jones offense. Yeah. So what happened is June Jones, correct me if I'm wrong, Fung. So June Jones helped Mouse Davis develop the run and shoot, right? And so it was in Detroit. Seattle tried to run. I'm sorry, it was in Detroit. Seattle tried to run a version. The Houston Oilers perfected it, but yet started off in Detroit. So, but yeah, and then for whatever reason, I think one of the assistant coaches knew somebody who knew Jim Jones and brought it the high school ranks. And then, like I said, this kid looked like this. Jeff Handy would have played in the NFL if he stayed healthy, like everything that you would want an NFL quarterback to be in high school. And it was a huge deal. But, yeah, he set national records. But, yeah, it was that June Jones offense. And you have to realize at the time, here's how old school our team was. We still lined up in the 3-point stance as wide receivers. We didn't even stand up. We lined up and put our hand in the dirt on the outside. That's how old school we were. So just imagine an old school 4-3 defense. Going against 5 wide receivers. Yeah. And yeah. So like when I talk about a guy setting national records, but yeah. Yeah. Art Shell was the head coach. Yeah. Yeah. So I was in Ohio and I was so pissed. I was in Ohio. I would have loved to have been there. But yeah, it was a shit game. The week before was Maranovich's first game, and then that was his second game. And he did not handle it well. I mean, you're born and raised in California. I mean, coming to a game in Kansas City in January, but hey, they had a chance to win the regular season. And you know what? Seriously, thank God it didn't happen, because if it was successful, you'd have a lot of dads trying to do what he did, and probably a lot of bad situations. So all I remember is Jones' theory was give me track stars, and that's what it was. And here's the thing, like today, well, hey, if you have 5 wide receivers, you run 5 defensive backs out there. Well, back when it first came out, you didn't know how to defend it. You played your base defense and, put linebackers covering receivers. And if you can imagine it on a high school level, like it was just, I mean, my team threw the ball 5 times a year, if that. I mean, I remember like 3rd and 18, it was like option left, and So a coach to come in to throw the ball 20 times a game was new to us, but for a coach to come in with 5 wide receivers throwing the ball every single play, like I can't even translate it in today's game, but like back then it was something, I mean, there's nothing you can really say. That those 90s Spurriers games, oh god, I'll never. They had Danny Warfel, he was like my size and phenomenal. It was okay. It's really funny because Warfel's this homeschooled kid, right? And he's I don't care what he was listed at. He's like 5'10", 185, couldn't throw the ball more than 30 yards downfield. Most accurate quarterback you'll ever see. Won Heisman. But then he had all these stud wide receivers. They had, oh God, I remember Riddell Anthony. God, they had one other. They had a couple like guys that they didn't do much in the pros, but they're all first round picks, and they had this defense from hell. Those early '90s Spurrier Gators teams, and I'm not a Florida Gators fan, but God, those teams are so good. Those are the most. Those are like the most fun. Like I don't care what Danny Warfel's listed at. He's like 5'9", 5'10", like 170 pounds. Like I would bet my left testicle he couldn't throw the ball more than 40 yards downfield, but he was an accurate son of a bitch throwing to like. I know he had 2 guys that went in the first round at wide receiver. I don't even know what his backups are. Those are so much fun. I was at this game, Mike. I was at this game. And afterwards, that's where he blew up at the referee. Junior Seau like pulled him away from the referee. And it was the third week of the season. And his first 2 games, the Chargers went 1-1. And he actually looked a lot better than Manning. I mean, he looked like, seriously, people after the first 2 weeks, people were like, man, Colts made a mistake passing on Leaf. Like he looked really good. Then he comes into Arrowhead. Chiefs had such a good defense. I mean, it was one thing about Marty Schottenheimer. He had this, just like Bill Belichick, you don't want to play against rookie quarterback. And oh my God, it was also just shit weather. I mean, it was like mid-September. It was supposed to be decent. Like right now, I'm wearing shorts right now. Earlier today it was 80 degrees. I was walking outside. You couldn't ask for better weather. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Like seriously, it was just summer. 40 degrees, raining sleet, windy. I mean, just the worst type of weather you can get. And I mean, he played in bad weather at Washington State. It rains, it snows up there, but I mean, the whole Chargers team let him down. It wasn't just him, but like he'll tell you. By the way, I follow Ryan Leaf on Twitter. One of the great Twitter guys. If you don't follow him now, but yeah, you need to. Yeah, that's the game I'm talking about. So after this game, that's when he had the meltdown. I didn't even know about it because, I'm at the game and then, afterwards for like the next several weeks. But before that meltdown and before that game, the first 2 weeks of his career, everybody was like, man, Colts fucked up. Leaf looked really good. And then he came into Arrowhead and his whole life changed. Came into Arrowhead, his whole life changed. All right. You know what? I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick. I want to talk about a few things here. Dak Prescott is, they're trying to get him back healthy. I think the longer you keep him out, the better the Cowboys are, to tell you the truth. I would not rush him back. And I think that when he does come back, if he comes back in the next 2 weeks, I think it'll be a big mistake. The longer he stays out, the better the Cowboys are. Run the ball, play good defense. It revert back. I talked about Javonte Williams. Him being out sucks. Major man crush on the guy. Long road to recovery. Now, for those of you who don't know, Johnaton Taylor is out for Thursday night. I think his ankle issues, but like an ongoing thing. I think he'll play next week. He'll be out Thursday. I think if it was a Sunday game, I think he'd play. And I didn't talk much about it, but Kenny Pickett's going to be a starting quarterback in Pittsburgh. I don't think we have any Steelers fans here, but I'll be honest. I really didn't think it would happen this year. I have no idea how he looked, but I did bet the Steelers money line, and I saw the last 30 seconds where at first I thought I was smart because the score was Pittsburgh 20, Jets 17, and the line was 3.5. So I was like, yes, I'm so smart. And then I watched Breece Hall score a touchdown, and I'm like, I hate football. And I was so mad. I really had kind of like I had my own meltdown here at the apartment. Like third straight week, I went winless on betting on football. That said, follow my YouTube channel, Dan Betts NFL. Follow my YouTube channel, Dan Betts NFL. Even though I have been picking big time losers, do follow Dan Betts NFL. I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna put the link to that channel in the description. Subscribe to this channel. Even though I've basically what you want to do. If you hit subscribe to this YouTube channel and then just do just the opposite. I've been doing terrible, but I'm going to get I do have a game I like this week. Me and Denver Gator are going to do a video. I'm going to try to have it out a lot. Last week I put it out late Saturday. I'm going to try to have this one out Thursday or Friday. Dak will probably start against the Lions. Lions will be his first game back. He will look bad, and the boys will get down by 3 scores, and Rush will come in and win by 2. God, when is that game? Yeah, week 7. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, he'll be back week 7. Maranovich had his on the field, and the ref didn't get the mic on time, and you could hear him whining. It was glorious. Yeah, I was not at the game. The first game that was in LA because he played in California as a high school player, went to USC, obviously. And I say obvious, but like his dad and his great granddad played there. Al Davis was his dad's college coach at USC. So of course he, was going to USC. And then, by the way, just what happened to him at USC was really crazy too. That you could make a story on that just by itself. It was really weird situation at USC. Probably made a mistake going to USC, to tell you the truth. But anyway, so like, yeah, his first time playing in shit weather in his whole life was in the playoffs at Arrowhead. Yeah. And keep in mind, like he should have been a junior in college. It's a lot more common now, but when he came out as a sophomore, is very, very rare. You can try picking the games I pick. Okay, so here's the deal. So like we agreed on a few, but I didn't pick them. This week, Denver Gator, I'm not even going to tell you which game I'm picking. This week, I think we're going to agree. I think me and you have the same game, and I haven't put a bet down. I had all sorts of problems with Barstool and tech support. I'm not even going to get into that because it's my birthday. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy my birthday, and I'm going to come back Friday and have a good time. The dogs stopped barking, which I can hear them banging around upstairs. So they came home and dogs stopped barking. But this week, Denver Gator, I think me and you had the same game. I'm almost positive. And when we do our video, I'm going to try my best to get it released Friday so I can put it in the description. So I have been ice cold. But if you've been following me for a while, I've had streaks where I lose for 3-4 weeks and then I bounce back. And I think this week, I'm looking at one game. There's one game that really kind of stands out that I really like. And I think Denver Gators going to pick the same one. So, but yeah, Denver Gators been hot. let me see here. I think you're 5-2-1, and then you picked okay, so you picked Dallas, and you picked Dallas and Kansas City. Yeah, you were 2-0, and you're on the fence about Seattle and Detroit, and you tried convincing me Denver was a smart pick against the Raiders, and I, of course, told you, no, I think Denver's got this one, or the Raiders got this one. But did I bet on it? No, because I'm a dumbass. All right, that said, I'm going to wrap it up, man. Guys, thank you so much for joining in. Don't forget, like the video. Give me the thumbs up. If you're new, first time to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Please share the video. I am just 4 subscribers away from 800. Mean the world to me. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I've had a great birthday, man. The weather was perfect. I'm doing my favorite thing in the world, talking football. I'm gonna kind of enjoy the next couple hours. I got half an energy drink. I got some football to watch today and tomorrow. Despite contrary belief, I'm not going to be doing a mountain of blow tonight. I'm just going to have some, quiet, watch some football, watch some TV, and just kind of chill. It's a great birthday, man. Great birthday. But please share this. If you don't mind, when you get out of here after the show's over, drop a comment in the comment section. It really helps YouTube algorithm. I'll see everybody back. Mike, hopefully you can join me. I'll see everybody Friday.